Did you know that 62% of Americans believe political polarization is a very big problem in the country today? This statistic from Pew Research Center sets the stage for our story about Elon Musk and a controversial hat. When Musk was refused service at a coffee shop, he became part of this statistic. But what happened next goes beyond numbers, challenging our understanding of free speech and business practices in a divided America. Picture this. Elon Musk, the tech titan known for his controversial tweets and groundbreaking innovations, strolls into a bustling coffee shop. But today, it's not his electric cars or space rockets turning heads. It's a simple red hat with 4 words that have become a lightning rod in American politics: Make America Great Again. As Musk takes his place in line, the atmosphere shifts. Customers do double takes, nudging each other and pointing discreetly. The barista's eyes widen as she spots the hat, and she quickly whispers to her manager. The air grows thick with tension, like a storm brewing over what should be a routine coffee run. The MAGA hat isn't just a piece of clothing anymore. It's become a symbol that divides the nation, representing different things to different people. To some, it's a patriotic call to restore American values. To others, it's a sign of intolerance and regression. This small accessory has the power to spark heated debates and even end friendships. As Musk inches closer to the counter, you can almost hear the collective intake of breath from the other customers. Will they serve him? How will people react? The coffee shop has suddenly become a stage for a drama that's playing out across the country. Then, the moment of truth arrives. The manager, looking uncomfortable but determined, approaches Musk. In a quiet but firm voice, he informs the billionaire that they won't be serving him today. The reason? The hat he's wearing. It's a surreal scene. One of the world's richest men, a person who could buy the entire coffee shop chain without blinking, is being turned away over a hat. The other customers watch in stunned silence, some surreptitiously pulling out their phones to capture this unexpected confrontation. This isn't just about coffee anymore. It's about the clash between personal expression and business rights, playing out in real time with one of the most recognizable faces in tech as the protagonist. The manager's decision to refuse service to Musk is a bold move, one that could have far-reaching consequences for the small business. But if you think this is where the story ends, think again. Musk's reaction to this unexpected rejection is about to take this incident from a local dispute to a national talking point. How will the tech mogul respond to being denied his morning coffee? The answer might surprise you, and it's sure to spark debates about free speech, cancel culture, and the role of politics in everyday life. You might think you know how this story ends, but Elon Musk's reaction defies expectations. As tensions rise in the coffee shop, the world's richest man faces a choice: walk away or stand his ground. His decision in the next few moments will send shockwaves far beyond these 4 walls. Musk's initial response is one of genuine surprise. He blinks, as if trying to process what he just heard. "I'm sorry, could you repeat that?" he asks, his voice a mix of confusion and disbelief. The manager, visibly uncomfortable but resolute, reiterates that they won't be serving him due to his hat. By now, other customers have their phones out, ready to capture whatever happens next. The tech mogul's demeanor shifts, his eyes narrow, and his posture straightens. "This is discrimination," Musk argues, his voice rising slightly. "You're refusing service based on my political views. That's not right." The manager, to his credit, stands firm. He explains that the coffee shop has a policy against serving customers wearing clothing with political messages, regardless of the stance. As the confrontation unfolds, Musk's body language speaks volumes. His hands move animatedly as he makes his points, occasionally gesturing to his hat. His tone becomes more assertive, but he never raises his voice to a shout. It's clear he's trying to maintain composure, perhaps aware of the growing audience both in the shop and potentially online. The power dynamics at play are fascinating. On one side, there's Musk, a man who can influence stock markets with a single tweet. On the other, a small business standing by its principles, even in the face of immense wealth and influence. It's David versus Goliath, but with an unexpected twist, the billionaire finds himself in the underdog role. As the tension builds, onlookers wonder, will Musk escalate this further? Will he threaten legal action or use his vast resources to pressure the coffee shop? Or will he simply walk away? The next few moments feel like they're unfolding in slow motion, each second pregnant with possibility. In the end, Musk chooses a middle path. He doesn't make a scene, but he doesn't leave quietly either. With a final look at the manager, he says, loud enough for everyone to hear, "This isn't about coffee, it's about the freedom to express our views without fear of exclusion. I'll be addressing this incident publicly." With that, he turns and walks out, leaving behind a stunned silence. Musk's immediate reaction to being denied service was a mix of surprise, indignation, and ultimately a calculated response. He managed to turn a personal slight into a broader statement about free speech and political expression. As he exits the coffee shop, it's clear this incident is far from over. The real question now is, how will the world respond to Musk's side of the story? As Musk walks away from the coffee shop, his words hang in the air. But in the digital age, words don't just disappear, they explode. Within hours, a simple hat sparked a firestorm that would engulf millions. How did a local incident become a global debate? It all started with a shaky smartphone video. Someone in the coffee shop captured Musk's confrontation with the manager, and within minutes, it was online. The footage spread like wildfire across social media platforms. Twitter, in particular, became ground zero for the unfolding drama. Musk Hatgate quickly rose to the top trending topic worldwide, with millions of users weighing in on the incident. Musk, never one to shy away from controversy, took to Twitter himself. His tweet was characteristically blunt. "Denied coffee for wearing a hat. Is this the America we want? Freedom of expression isn't just for those we agree with." The post racked up likes and retweets at a dizzying pace, further fueling the online frenzy. As the story gained traction, social media users quickly divided into two distinct camps. Musk supporters rallied behind the tech mogul, decrying what they saw as an attack on free speech. One viral tweet read, "If they can refuse Elon Musk service, they can refuse anyone. This is a dangerous precedent." On the other side, supporters of the coffee shop praised the business for taking a stand. "No one is above the rules," one popular post declared. "Even billionaires need to respect others' right to a safe space." The incident tapped into deeper societal tensions, amplifying existing political divisions. What started as a dispute over a hat became a proxy war for larger ideological battles. Social media's algorithm-driven nature only intensified this polarization, pushing users deeper into their respective echo chambers. As the online storm raged on, attention turned to the coffee shop itself. The business's social media accounts were flooded with comments from both supporters and detractors. But the real impact was felt on review sites like Yelp. The coffee shop's page was inundated with reviews, many from people who had never set foot in the establishment. 5-star reviews praising the shop's bravery competed with 1-star rants about discrimination. The incident highlighted the double-edged sword of viral fame in the social media age. While the coffee shop received an outpouring of support from some quarters, it also faced a barrage of negative attention and potential real-world consequences. The question on everyone's mind: how would this online firestorm affect the small business in the long run? As day turned to night, the social media response to Thatcher Musk Hatgate showed no signs of slowing down. What began as a local dispute had transformed into a national conversation about free speech, business rights, and the role of politics in everyday life. And as the world waited to see what would happen next, one thing was clear. In the age of social media, a single moment can spark a movement. While the social media storm raged on, legal experts began dissecting the incident. Could a business really refuse service based on a political statement? The answer, it turns out, isn't as straightforward as you might think. In the United States, businesses generally have the right to refuse service to customers. This concept, often displayed on signs reading, "We reserve the right to refuse service to anyone," has been a long-standing practice. However, this right isn't absolute. It's limited by federal and state anti-discrimination laws that protect certain classes of people based on race, color, religion, national origin, and in some cases, political affiliation. The tension between the right to refuse service and anti-discrimination laws creates a complex legal landscape. Political views aren't a federally protected class, but some states and cities have laws that prohibit discrimination based on political affiliation or activity. This patchwork of regulations makes it challenging to determine the legality of the coffee shop's actions without knowing the specific location. Past legal cases offer some insight into how courts might view this situation. In 2018, a Virginia restaurant made headlines when it refused to serve Sarah Huckabee Sanders, then the White House press secretary. While controversial, the restaurant's actions were generally considered legal because political affiliation isn't a protected class under federal law. However, the waters get murkier when political expression intersects with other protected categories. For instance, if a political message is closely tied to religious beliefs, refusing service could potentially violate religious discrimination laws. The gray areas in the law regarding political expression are numerous. What if the hat's message was considered hate speech by some? What if it created a hostile environment for other customers or employees? These questions don't have clear-cut legal answers and often depend on the specific circumstances of each case. So, could Elon Musk take legal action against the coffee shop? It's possible, but the outcome would be far from certain. The case would likely hinge on local laws and the specific details of the incident. Some legal experts suggest that Musk might have a stronger case if he could prove the refusal was based on his personal identity rather than the hat itself. Ultimately, the coffee shop's actions fall into a legal gray area. While businesses have broad discretion in refusing service, they must navigate a complex web of anti-discrimination laws and public opinion. As one legal expert put it, the law tries to balance the rights of businesses to control their establishments with the right of individuals to be free from discrimination. In cases like this, where political expression is involved, that balance becomes even more delicate. As the debate continues, one thing is clear. The intersection of business rights, free speech, and political expression remains a contentious and evolving area of law. The Musk incident serves as a stark reminder of the challenges businesses face in today's politically charged climate. As the legal debate raged on, another storm was brewing. Musk's loyal fan base wasn't about to sit idly by while their hero faced rejection. What happens when millions of devoted followers decide to take matters into their own hands? Elon Musk's supporters, known for their fierce loyalty, quickly mobilized online. Social media platforms became their war rooms, with Twitter at the epicenter. Hashtags like #StandWithElon and Boycott Coffee Shop started trending within hours. Musk's followers, ranging from tech enthusiasts to free speech advocates, coordinated their efforts with military-like precision. Calls for boycotts against the coffee shop spread like wildfire. Supporters urged others to avoid not just the specific location, but the entire chain if applicable. Some even created websites and apps to help people find Musk-friendly alternatives in their area. The message was clear: if you don't serve Elon, we won't serve you our business. But the Musk army didn't stop there. Protests began to materialize in the physical world. Small groups of supporters showed up outside the coffee shop, wearing MAGA hats and carrying signs with slogans like "No shirt, no shoes, no service." But hats? And free speech matters more than free coffee. These gatherings, while mostly peaceful, created an uncomfortable atmosphere for the business and its regular customers. The loyalty of Musk's fan base is a force to be reckoned with. Many of his supporters view him not just as a successful entrepreneur, but as a visionary leading humanity into the future. This incident tapped into their deep-seated belief that Musk, and by extension themselves, were being unfairly targeted for their political views. For the coffee shop, the consequences were immediate and severe. Their online ratings plummeted as Musk supporters flooded review sites with one-star ratings and negative comments. Their social media accounts were inundated with angry messages, making it nearly impossible to engage with regular customers. Some employees reported receiving threats, forcing the shop to consider additional security measures. As the pressure mounted, many wondered, would these actions force the coffee shop to change its stance? The owners found themselves at a crossroads. Apologizing might appease Musk's supporters, but could be seen as caving to pressure by those who supported their initial decision. Standing firm might preserve their principles, but at what cost to their business and employees' safety? The situation escalated when some overzealous supporters took things too far. The coffee shop received a barrage of fake orders and prank calls, disrupting their daily operations. Some even attempted to dox the manager who had confronted Musk, forcing him to temporarily deactivate his social media accounts. Elon Musk's supporters had turned a local incident into a national movement, showcasing both the power and potential dangers of such a devoted fanbase. Their actions sent a clear message. Messing with Musk means taking on an army of tech-savvy, highly motivated individuals ready to rally behind their idol. As the coffee shop grappled with the fallout, the world watched, wondering what would happen next in this rapidly escalating saga. Just as the dust seemed to settle, Elon Musk made an unexpected move. He returned to the coffee shop, but not alone. What was he planning? 24 hours after the initial incident, Musk arrived at the coffee shop's doorstep. This time, he wasn't just grabbing a morning caffeine fix. He came prepared, accompanied by a small film crew and a group of supporters. The scene outside the shop quickly turned into a media circus, with onlookers gathering to witness what would unfold. As Musk approached the entrance, tension filled the air. Would he confront the staff who denied him service the day before? Was he there to demand an apology or create a public spectacle? The coffee shop staff watched nervously through the windows, unsure of how to handle this high-profile return. Musk's strategy in this situation was calculated. By bringing cameras, he ensured that whatever happened next would be documented and shared widely. The presence of supporters added an extra layer of pressure on the coffee shop. It was a power move that highlighted the stark contrast between a tech billionaire and a small local business. The optics of this confrontation were complex. On one hand, Musk positioned himself as a champion of free speech, standing up against what he perceived as discrimination. On the other, critics could easily paint him as a powerful figure bullying a small business over a minor slight. The court of public opinion was divided, with social media buzzing about the potential outcomes. As Musk reached for the door handle, everyone held their breath. How would the coffee shop respond to his return? Would they stick to their guns and refuse him service again, potentially escalating the situation? Or would they back down under the pressure of Musk's influence and the watchful eyes of the cameras? In a surprising turn of events, Musk's actions caught everyone off guard. Instead of storming in or making demands, he calmly entered the shop and approached the counter. The staff, visibly tense, waited for his order. But Musk wasn't there to buy coffee. He pulled out his wallet and placed a sizable donation on the counter, announcing that it was for a local charity of the coffee shop's choice. Musk then turned to address the cameras and the crowd that had gathered. He spoke about the importance of open dialogue and understanding different perspectives. He emphasized that while he disagreed with the shop's policy, he respected their right to run their business as they saw fit. Musk encouraged his supporters to engage in constructive conversations rather than boycotts or online harassment. This unexpected gesture of goodwill transformed the narrative. What could have been a confrontational scene turned into a moment of reconciliation. Musk's actions demonstrated a nuanced approach to the controversy, surprising both his critics and supporters. As he left the shop, the tension had dissipated, replaced by a sense of cautious optimism about the power of civil discourse in bridging ideological divides. As Musk's gesture sparked cautious optimism, the coffee shop found itself thrust into an unexpected spotlight. What happens when a local business becomes the epicenter of a national debate overnight? The owner's next move would determine not just the fate of their cafe, but potentially shape the discourse on free speech and business rights. The coffee shop owner, Sarah Thompson, stepped into the media frenzy with a mix of trepidation and resolve. In her first interview with a local news station, she explained, "Our policy has always been to create a welcoming environment for all customers. We didn't single out Mr. Musk. We apply our no political messaging rule consistently." As Sarah's words spread, the coffee shop faced a tidal wave of both support and backlash. Locals who had been coming for years suddenly found themselves choosing sides. Regular customer Tom Martinez said, "I've been getting my morning coffee here for a decade, but now I feel like I'm making a political statement just by walking in the door." The financial impact was immediate and intense. On one hand, some days saw lines out the door as supporters flocked to show solidarity. On the other, the shop dealt with canceled catering orders and a sharp drop in their usual business crowd. Sarah confided, "We're barely breaking even some days. It's like being on a financial roller coaster." The emotional toll on the staff was equally heavy. Barista Jenny Lee shared, "I've had customers yell at me, calling me names. Others hug me and tell me I'm brave. It's exhausting never knowing what to expect when someone walks in." Local reaction to the controversy was deeply divided. The town's annual festival committee debated whether to allow the coffee shop to participate as a vendor. Meanwhile, a group of regulars organized a coffee and conversation event, encouraging people with different views to come together and discuss the issue over a cup of joe. As pressure mounted from all sides, many wondered, would the coffee shop stick to its guns or cave to the pressure and apologize? Sarah spent sleepless nights weighing her options, knowing that her decision could make or break the business her family had built over 2 generations. After a week of intense scrutiny, Sarah called a press conference outside the shop. With trembling hands but a steady voice, she addressed the crowd. "We stand by our policy of creating a neutral space free from political messaging. However, we also acknowledge the need for open dialogue in our community. Moving forward, we're introducing a monthly forum where people can come together to discuss important issues. Over coffee, of course." The impact of this incident on the coffee shop was profound and far-reaching. What began as a local dispute had transformed their business into a symbol in the national debate on free speech and tolerance. As Sarah wrapped up her statement, it was clear that regardless of one's stance on the issue, this small coffee shop would never be quite the same again. While the coffee shop grappled with its new reality, Elon Musk was crafting a response that would send shockwaves through social media. How does a billionaire tech mogul turn a personal slight into a rallying cry for millions? Musk took to Twitter, his platform of choice, with a lengthy statement that quickly went viral. He began by recounting the coffee shop incident, but swiftly pivoted to frame it as a broader issue of free speech and tolerance in America. "This isn't about a hat or a cup of coffee," Musk wrote. "It's about our fundamental right to express ourselves without fear of exclusion or punishment." The tech titan's arguments resonated with many of his followers. He pointed out the irony of silencing diverse viewpoints in the name of inclusivity. "True tolerance," Musk argued, "means accepting ideas we disagree with, not just those we find comfortable." His words struck a chord with those who felt that political correctness had gone too far, leading to a flurry of supportive responses and retweets. However, Musk's message wasn't universally embraced. Critics accused him of using his enormous platform to bully a small business. Others pointed out that private businesses have the right to refuse service, as long as they don't discriminate against protected classes. The debate raged on, with Musk's statement serving as a lightning rod for discussions about the limits of free speech and the role of politics in public spaces. This crusade for free speech aligns closely with Musk's previous statements on the topic. Since his acquisition of Twitter, he's repeatedly emphasized the importance of free speech on the platform, often clashing with those who advocate for stronger content moderation. This incident provided Musk with a real-world example to bolster his arguments about the dangers of suppressing diverse viewpoints. As the conversation around Musk's statement grew, many wondered how this would affect his public image. Would he be seen as a champion of free speech or as a powerful figure using his influence to settle a personal score? The tech world watched closely, knowing that Musk's actions often have far-reaching consequences for his various business ventures. In a surprising move, Musk didn't stop at just making a statement. He announced a new initiative called Project Soapbox, aimed at promoting open dialogue and protecting free speech. The project promises to provide legal support to individuals and businesses facing repercussions for expressing political views. It also includes plans for a series of town hall-style events where people with opposing viewpoints can engage in respectful debate. Musk's final words in his statement encapsulated his stance on free speech after this event. "In a truly free society, we don't silence those we disagree with. We engage them, we debate them, and sometimes we even grab a coffee with them. That's the America I believe in, and that's the future I'm working towards." "That's the America I believe in," Musk declared. But did America believe in Musk's vision? As the incident faded from headlines, a more complex picture of public reaction began to take shape. The numbers tell a story that even Elon might not have anticipated. Polls conducted in the aftermath of the coffee shop confrontation revealed a nation deeply divided in its opinion of Musk's actions. A Gallup survey showed that 48% of respondents approved of how Musk handled the situation, while 45% disapproved. The remaining 7% were undecided, highlighting the polarizing nature of the incident. Interestingly, the demographic breakdown of these opinions paints a nuanced picture. Younger adults, particularly those aged 18-34, were more likely to support Musk's stance, with 62% approving of his actions. In contrast, only 39% of those over 55 felt the same way. This generational divide suggests a shifting landscape in how different age groups perceive issues of free speech and corporate responsibility. Political affiliation also played a significant role in shaping public opinion. Republican voters overwhelmingly supported Musk, with 76% approving of his actions. Democrats were more critical, with only 28% expressing approval. This stark partisan split underscores how deeply intertwined the incident became with broader political narratives. But what about Musk's personal brand? Marketing experts suggest that the incident has had a mixed impact. On one hand, Musk has solidified his image as a free speech advocate, potentially attracting supporters who align with this stance. On the other, his confrontational approach may have alienated some moderate consumers and potential business partners. The long-term implications for Musk's brand remain uncertain. Brand strategist Sarah Johnson notes, "Musk has always been a polarizing figure. This incident hasn't fundamentally changed that, but it has intensified both positive and negative perceptions of him." As for Musk's business ventures, the jury is still out. While some analysts predicted a negative impact on Tesla's stock price, the company's shares have remained relatively stable. However, there are concerns about potential long-term effects, particularly in markets where political sensitivities run high. Tech industry analyst Mark Thompson warns, companies like Tesla and SpaceX operate globally. Musk's outspoken political stances could potentially complicate business dealings in certain regions. However, he also notes that Musk's core fan base remains loyal, potentially offsetting any negative impacts. As the dust settles, it's clear that this incident has left an indelible mark on public perception of Elon Musk. While it hasn't dramatically shifted overall opinion, it has deepened existing divisions and raised new questions about the role of tech leaders in political discourse. The true test will be how these shifting perceptions play out in the long run, both for Musk personally and for his ambitious business endeavors. As the dust settles on Musk's coffee shop confrontation, the incident has ignited a much broader conversation across America. Political commentators from both sides of the aisle have seized on this event, turning it into a flashpoint for debates about cancel culture and political division. The incident has reignited passionate discussions about the delicate balance between freedom of expression and creating inclusive spaces. Conservative pundits argue that the coffee shop's actions represent a dangerous trend of silencing dissenting voices. They point to this as another example of cancel culture run amok, where even a simple hat can lead to exclusion from public spaces. On the other side, liberal commentators frame the issue differently. They emphasize the rights of private businesses to set their own policies and create environments that feel safe and welcoming for all customers. For them, this isn't about canceling anyone, but rather about setting boundaries in an increasingly polarized society. The implications for businesses navigating these turbulent political waters are significant. Many companies now find themselves walking a tightrope, trying to balance their values with the risk of alienating potential customers. Some are opting to stay entirely neutral, while others are taking clear stances on social and political issues. This incident has also sparked discussions about potential policy changes or new legislation. Some lawmakers are floating ideas about extending anti-discrimination protections to cover political beliefs. Others argue that such moves would infringe on the rights of private businesses to operate as they see fit. Marketing expert Jane Thompson predicts long-term effects on business practices. We're likely to see more companies developing clear policies on political expression, both for their employees and customers, she says. The days of businesses staying completely out of the political fray may be over. The event has undoubtedly influenced discussions about cancel culture. It's forced many to confront difficult questions. Where do we draw the line between personal expression and creating a welcoming environment for all? Is refusing service based on political views a form of cancellation or a legitimate business decision? As the conversation continues, it's clear that this incident has touched a nerve in American society. It's exposed deep-seated tensions about free speech, political division, and the role of businesses in shaping public discourse. While the coffee shop controversy may fade from the headlines, the questions it's raised will likely shape debates about cancel culture and political expression for years to come. While the dust has settled, the implications of Musk's coffee shop confrontation continue to ripple through society. What if this seemingly trivial incident actually holds the key to navigating our increasingly polarized world? As we unpack the lessons learned, we might just discover a roadmap for coexistence in a divided America. Let's recap the key events that led us here. It all started with Elon Musk, a tech billionaire, walking into a coffee shop wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat. The shop, citing a policy against political messaging, refused to serve him. Musk left, but not before promising to address the issue publicly. What followed was a social media firestorm, legal debates, and a nation divided over questions of free speech and business rights. The perspectives in this saga couldn't be more different. Musk saw the incident as an attack on free expression, rallying his supporters around the cause. The coffee shop stood firm, arguing they had the right to create a neutral environment for their customers. The public? They were split, with some applauding the shop's stance and others crying foul over perceived discrimination. This clash between a tech titan and a small business has broader implications for free speech and business rights in America. It forces us to grapple with tough questions. Where do we draw the line between personal expression and creating inclusive spaces? How do we balance the rights of businesses with those of individuals? Looking ahead, how might similar situations be handled differently? Perhaps we'll see more businesses developing clear, publicly stated policies on political expression. There might be a push for more open dialogue between opposing viewpoints, inspired by Musk's Project Soapbox initiative. We could even witness changes in legislation as lawmakers attempt to address the gray areas exposed by this incident. What changes might we see in how businesses operate moving forward? Marketing expert Jane Thompson predicts that companies will no longer be able to stay completely out of the political fray. We might see more businesses taking clear stances on social and political issues, while others double down on neutrality. The key will be transparency and consistency in whatever approach they choose. Navigating political expression in public spaces will likely remain a challenge. However, this incident offers some insights. It highlights the importance of clear communication, both from businesses about their policies and from individuals about their intentions. It also underscores the need for spaces where people with differing views can engage in respectful dialogue. So what lessons can we learn from this confrontation between a tech billionaire and a small business? Perhaps the most important is that in our politically charged era, even seemingly small actions can have far-reaching consequences. It reminds us of the power of social media to amplify local incidents into national debates. And it underscores the ongoing struggle to balance personal freedom with social responsibility in a diverse society. As we move forward, this incident serves as a call to reflection. It challenges us to examine our own biases, to listen more carefully to those we disagree with, and to seek common ground even in the face of deep division. In the end, the true test will be whether we can learn from these conflicts to build a more inclusive and understanding society. The Elon Musk coffee shop incident peels back the layers of our complex society, revealing the delicate balance between free speech, business rights, and public opinion. It's a microcosm of the larger debates raging across America, forcing us to confront uncomfortable questions about personal expression and inclusivity. As we move forward, this event will undoubtedly shape our understanding of political discourse in everyday life. It challenges us to find ways to coexist despite our differences, to create spaces where diverse viewpoints can be expressed without compromising the comfort of others. The conversation sparked by Musk's confrontation is far from over. It will continue to influence how businesses approach political expression, how individuals navigate public spaces, and how we as a society grapple with the ever-present tension between personal freedom and collective harmony. As we face an increasingly polarized world, the lessons from this incident may prove invaluable in forging a path towards mutual understanding and respect.